I'm proud and honoured to speak in favour of this motion this morning. And as I do so not only as the member for Braddon, but I do so as an ex-serviceman. I'd also like to welcome the families and the ex-servicemen and women that we have in the gallery today. You are very welcome here. I was just a young kid, 18 years old, true of eye and straight of limb, as they say, when I joined the Australian Regular Army. I was a very different person 20 years later, as a 38-year-old, somewhat worse for wear. But along the way, I had an incredible journey. I had an incredible life. I had a life that was filled with purpose, that was filled with teamwork and mateship. Anyone that's ever served will know that the military is a big family, and we stick together more than most. The rigours of that service life, however, have an effect. It's had an effect on me, not only physically but mentally. I said before in this place that I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'm treated daily for that. I said that when I mentioned it to this place, that I don't mention that for pity. I mention that to let all veterans know that yes, you may suffer the same thing that I suffer, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can get help. Help is there today, tomorrow, and it'll always be there. And we need to make sure, as a collective, that that help is always there and it's always strong. The Royal Commission is going to be tough. They are going to have a very critical, tough look at a very tough subject. And it's going to be tough on the families. It's going to be tough on the mates of those involved. It's going to be tough on units, on the chain of command, and on families. And I think during this process, everyone involved is going to require support at the highest level. They're going to require that support on the ground as this Royal Commission is going on. And when I was a dig, I used to pride myself on the fact that I was a soldier's soldier. I always stuck up for my diggers. I never left one behind. Well, I maintain that today. But what I want to see, not only as this Royal Commission goes about its very critical job that it has to do, I want to make sure that those diggers out there, that those veterans out there, that those families that I talked about earlier, that they're protected. Not just today, not tomorrow, not next year, not at the completion of the Royal Commission, but that there is help there every day for them. And I think it behoves us all to ensure, bipartisanly, that that help is provided. And I echo the words of the Minister and his focus on that support. I also want it very clear to everybody involved how much emphasis I place on families. Families play an important part in the important transition process between defence and civilian life. We often think, and I know in my own case, if you do suffer from one thing or another along the way in the rigours of service life, you'll often strike out at the ones closest to you, your family. And I see heads nodding. And I've seen this along my journey as well, where people take it out on their families. What invariably happens is the spouse packs the children up and leaves. Then there's another issue. Then the bills for the child support come. And then there's another financial issue. And then there's an alcohol issue or a drug issue. We start putting on weight. Our service life injuries that we've picked up along the way get worse and are exacerbated by that. Depression sets in. No one's there. The big family that we had as a military isn't there any longer. Why is it worth it? And as far as I'm concerned, that answers a lot of questions as to why we go through this. I know because I've been through it. I want families protected in this. I want those kids to know exactly why mum or dad is feeling the pain that they're feeling and maybe why they act the way that they do. Because I think families are important and I want families looked at and supported throughout this entire process. And I mean that so sincerely. Our ESOs, our ex-service organisations, play a critical role in not only the transition process between defence and civilian life, but also in encouraging them to take up a new regime. Our diggers at 07:20 every morning get up and do PT. At 10 o'clock they have mornos. At Thursday afternoons they have sporties. They get used to that routine. They're fit, they're young, they've got their mates around them. When they leave, no mates, no PT, no routine, no structure, no support, apart from the supports that we put in as a government. They're incredibly important. And it's important that not only that veteran is looked after, but that veteran's family unit is looked after. And I want to see that happen from the get-go, from the word go. Private enterprise and businesses play an important part as well. I think over the years what has evolved in the veteran community is a broken digger mentality, whereby, irrespective of whether there is any truth in it or not, whereby some employers think that if they employ an ex-defence person, then that person will come with baggage. But I'm here to tell the story that employing a veteran is good for your business. Employing a veteran gives them a new purpose in life. We reconnect them from that purpose that they had. The ultimate purpose in life was to defend their country and look after their mates. The sooner we can connect them to a new job, a new family, a new profession, a purpose is absolutely paramount and fundamental when it comes to reconnecting our veterans to their futures. And if we don't connect them to a purpose, then we've failed them. So businesses out there, do the right thing and employ a veteran because it'll add to your bottom line. They'll do your business the world of good. They come with a set of skills that is unmatched. They're confident, they have mission focus, they can identify problems, they work well in big teams, small teams. They won't stop until they get the job done. If an obstacle is put in front of a veteran, they'll look for a way around it. They'll identify the problem, identify the routes, move around it and continue on their mission. And that's what all businesses need. So businesses out there need to play a part in that transition process also. Friends. Our friends that we have in the military, we sometimes don't have too much to do with them from time to time. We're not regular in our friendship groups. But when you meet one of your mates that you've known from 20 or 30 years ago that you serve with, it's like you haven't been away. It's like you saw them yesterday. And we need to work on a network by which we can reconnect our friends that we serve with. I want them to make new friends also, because we need to take that veteran, their family and their friends on that journey. And as far as I'm concerned, this transition is absolutely paramount. Whilst I support the Royal Commission, the only reservation I have, and I've alluded to it during my words this morning, is that I want something for our veterans tomorrow. A Royal Commission is going to take 18 months before we start to see any action from it. What happens to the digger that's contemplating that tomorrow, on the weekend, next month? So all I say in closing is that I want something, as well as this Royal Commission, I want something to protect our veterans now and protect their families. Mate, please the House.